Congratulations, Mayor, again for bringing another international important summit to the city of Johannesburg. Why was it strategically important from your perspective to bring Africities 2015 here?
Thank you very much. Just to say that Africities comes at a very strategic time for local government. We're on the eve of COP21 that will be discussing climate change. The world has just concluded an agreement on the Sustainable Development Goals, with Goal 11 focusing on cities. And the world earlier this year agreed in relation to financing for development on a paragraph that we famously in the local government sector call paragraph 34, which focuses on local government. So the role of local government is being recognized, and the institutions to implement programs that are international is being enhanced. And thus Africities happens at a time when we can take all these opportunities and start implementing, and it's the opportunity for African local government to take advantage of these opportunities.
You have to look at the city of Johannesburg, examine the city of Johannesburg. What issues stand out for you in particular that you would like to raise at one of the thematic sessions?
Well, among the critical issues relates to the relationship of our strategic megacities on the African continent and using those as platforms for facilitating greater trade and investment within the African continent and amongst our cities, because that's very important. The level of business that's taking place within African cities and amongst African cities is too small, and we need to enhance and grow that. And thus we've convened a session dedicated to the metropolitan centers in Africa that are able to talk and converse about how we facilitate that development. We'll also be looking at implementing an initiative of His Holiness the Pope when he convened us as local government leaders to talk about human trafficking, to talk about modern slavery. And on the basis of that inspiration, I made a commitment to the Pope that immediately when we get to Africities, we would include this on the agenda so that we take forward the initiative of the Vatican City of placing on the agenda matters of modern slavery and the impact that has on our people's human trafficking is a particularly significant problem, particularly in developing countries. So we'll be having that discussion, in as much as we'll also be having discussions around climate change and the ability of our cities to adapt and be resilient to the impact of climate change, but also take advantage of the new technologies that enable us to develop in ways that do not have the level of impact on climate as current technologies are.
What do you think are some of the important lessons you can share with your continental peers when it comes to the city of Johannesburg?
Well, the city of Johannesburg is a leading city in terms of financing mechanism. We raised the first international green bond that was listed. So we're the first city internationally to be able to list a green bond, working with the JSE in Johannesburg, and our own stock exchange as a partner was an important initiative that said we can form a partnership between business and the local authority and the investors that invested in that green bond. So financing is a particularly important lesson that we would be able to share with the people on the continent and say these are the programs that we're implementing. And we've already begun sharing this. I mean, we've been talking to the city of Dakar around their issuance of a bond, and they've come to Johannesburg to look at lessons of issuing a bond. So financing is a very important issue. Another important issue relates to the transition to a climate resilient environment, the introduction of the new technologies that we're introducing. You would know that we're doing landfill gas to energy in Johannesburg. We're doing programs that generates electricity from the sludge in our wastewater works, and we're converting our buses into green buses. So these are practical programs that we're implementing, and we can proudly say that when we go to Paris, we'll be able to go there and say, this is what we're putting on the table. These are the programs that we're implementing, and in many ways this gives us the opportunity to access the resources that the world is making available to deal with these issues.
Thank you so much for your time, Mayor.
Thank you.